Hi, Nico. Nice to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me today. I must say I've seen the first four episodes now, and I just want to start with saying you did an amazing job as Sarah. You made it even more emotional than it was in the video game.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, as a The Last of Us fan, I have to say it's hard to top that.
I know.
But you did an amazing job. So it was awesome to see. Um, I read somewhere online that you were all instructed by the director that you were absolutely not allowed to play the game before recording the first episodes. Did you listen to the director?
I mean, I'd already seen a lot of the game, so like when everyone was kind of saying that, I was like, oh, whatever. I don't think I got a very strict you cannot play the game, but I think it was more so just a kind of like unspoken rule so that we weren't directly emulating everything that the game is, and so that we could expand on our characters in our own way.
Yeah.
So I'm very appreciative of that. I didn't watch while we were filming. I didn't watch the game and I didn't play the game, which I fingers crossed was for the better. I don't know.
Yeah, you did amazing, believe me. Did you play it after recording?
No, I mean I've never played the game. I've watched people play the game. When I was younger, I was kind of weirdly obsessed with watching people play the game. A lot of gamers are just playing it, and then I graduated from that onto just watching like a silent gameplay as if it was a movie. So yeah, but that was all kind of years before it was in any way I was in any way attached to it, or before it was even considered to be a TV show.
Okay.
So I was well aware of it prior to being involved.
Are you a bit of a gamer or?
I'm not. I think when I was younger, I was more of like I would watch gamers. So I guess if
Yeah.
that can in any way make me like a gamer by association. But I think me myself, no, I don't tend to play video games. I think purely because I'm just not good. I think if I was good at them, I would be such a gamer. I'm just not. So I think like playing solitaire on my phone is like
Awesome. If you ever find the time to play The Last of Us and maybe part two, it's definitely a recommendation. You should try it, maybe, yeah. Um, if you didn't play the game, how do you prepare for a role like this?
I think to prepare, I think the main preparation was really establishing relationships with other cast members. So I think the importance of me and Pedro getting on, which luckily was kind of second nature to me, and incredibly easy, I think, for both of us. Uh, and then also Gabriel, spending time with Gabriel, just to kind of form that kind of family bond, I think was incredibly important. For me, was kind of the main preparation thing that I wanted to do. And then also, it's an American accent in it, so some kind of accent work so that I'm not slurring or getting it all completely wrong.
Yeah, because the first episode is like the first 10 minutes of the game. It's really emotional. So in like a very short time, you and the director, they have to make, like you said, a family bond, something very emotional. What was that like for you to act in that kind of way?
It was it was interesting because I feel like with every job, when there's any kind of family aspect involved, you do kind of have to force yourself to make these incredibly deep relationships incredibly quickly. But I think it was um it was interesting and amazing because the way that they had set out filming wise, all of the kind of more emotional um scenes where you really see that kind of example of family would later on in filming. So those relationships were already kind of well established and we already kind of knew our characters more so than we did in the first 2 days. Yeah. So I think it was good. It was challenging in the best way.
Okay, awesome. I guess it could also be challenging in the way with like stunt work because the episode is really explosive at one point. What was
Right.
that like? Did it take a couple days to shoot that stuff?
It took a couple days. I think it was difficult because that's kind of a variable that isn't always in control. So, a good take stunt wise and a good take special effects wise isn't necessarily a good take acting wise. So I think having to kind of make those two elements coincide with one another was difficult. But I think when they work so well that when you see the final product, it's entirely worth it. And I think kind of knowing that we all were completely on board.
Yeah, I loved it. Like the opening sequence was crazy. Um, like you said, you had the chance to work with some amazing actors and also amazing director. Do you maybe have some cool stories from set or something you learned from them along the way?
Cool stories from set. I feel like every day was a cool story from set, truly, because what we were filming was so cool, and so interesting. I feel like with Pedro specifically, working with him genuinely felt like a kind of acting masterclass, in terms of to be a scene partner. He was incredibly present, and I think also Pedro and Gabriel, I was incredibly aware of this filming with them, is they both, even when they're off camera, they are entirely committed, because they know how important it is to the person on camera to kind of have that energy reciprocated. And I think seeing that and that dedication and that kind of giving was so important to me, because it kind of, I realized like I want to be someone that does that and does that for other people. So I think that was like a very important lesson to learn. And I think a lesson that I kind of didn't learn is like I would just laugh the whole time. I was constantly laughing on camera, off camera. So that professionalism was not entirely there. I'm not really there yet, but maybe with the next job.
You were even laughing when zombies were chasing you, is what you're saying.
I mean, I wasn't too bad, but there were a couple moments where it's like, that's not funny, Nico. And I would just be laughing. There was one where I was like literally laughing into Pedro's shoulder, and he was just looking at me like, why are you laughing? And it's just like, I have no explanation.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for your time. I'm being told we have to wrap up. So thanks for your answers, for your stories, and I hope you have a great day.
You too. Thank you very much. It was lovely to talk to you.
Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.